Hello, 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 hello. How many? Everyone looks nicely lit. That's good.
Shared Stories, Shared Voices came about in spring 2020 at the start of the first COVID lockdown. We were looking at our online content like everyone else and realising that we didn't have very much that really looked at our collections. There was a call out from the Museums Association Esmée Fairbairn Collections Fund for a project to look at sustaining collections engagement through this difficult period. We had to come up with a project that could be done remotely without bringing the participants into the museum for workshops. So all of the workshops were designed to be run over Zoom.
Wonderful. It sounds like we're all on the same wavelength here, but it's an opportunity to share stories.
The idea of the project is to try and get some stories and local people's voices into the museum's collection.
A very important part of the museum's ethos that a lot of our projects with local communities are artist-led. We worked with two artists, Emma Crouch.
How would you describe it? So kind of what texture, what shape? Just kind of, I find that quite a nice mindful thing to do. It gets you thinking in a slightly different way, I think.
And Emma Middleton, who's also a member of the museum team.
And what about the bedroom? What was the bedroom like?
Well, it was just a little single bed and me.
They ran a series of creative workshops with three different groups who are close to the museum. We worked with our volunteers.
The part of the project that you're part of is with the volunteers, and you're working with Emma. Then there's another
Former pupils of the Foundling Hospital, sort of last generation who were in residential care there.
When I received the pictures of the font, it kind of brought up all these memories of school.
And we also worked with graduates of our Tracing Our Tales traineeship, which is for care experienced young people.
They were treated exactly the same. There wasn't any separation or any space for them to have their own identities. And that also came through when you look at the beds that they would sleep in. They were all very uniform and identical. That really resonated with me because when I was in my foster placement, I felt alone in that environment.
The creative workshops with the different groups helped them to identify a particular object of the collection that was very meaningful for them and that they would develop work around and talk about on film.
My object is the ring. Was it the mother's most treasured possession because she's giving away her most treasured possession, her baby?
They lived very, very different lives. Very much a doer, but with her support, able to move things forward.
Once the children were accepted at the Foundling Hospital, they were not allowed to wear their own clothes, which meant that their identity was stripped away. The reason why I'm interested in talking about this is because it links a lot to my life. I come from a very religious upbringing where I wasn't allowed to express who I was. From my experience of how I grew up, I think the Foundlings went through the same.
The painting has resonance because I myself am a foundling, found and born in Hong Kong. What it brings to mind to me is the possibility of being reclaimed. For all you think it won't happen, you still have that hope.
The artists and the museum have been really amazed by some of the stories and connections that the different groups have made with the collection.
The object I've chosen, which seems a bit obvious, is this portrait of our founder, the great Thomas Coram. As a child, I thought not only that he was my grandfather, but he was grandfather of all the other children who were at the school in Berkhamsted.
The object I have chosen is this roundel of Christ's Hospital, and I've chosen it because I was a pupil there. It feels timely now that pandemic is set to put back gender equality, to look at this, which is the earliest girls' school in the country.
It's been important for us that not everything about the collection is coming from the museum's point of view, that we have this kind of wide range of different perspectives and different stories. We hope that that will help our visitors to make their own connections and see a broader relevance of the collection to events in their own lives.
It has been a really good opportunity to open up and to be able to express feelings and relate to what it is to be, for me, to be a foundling.
I've really enjoyed it. It's made me think about things
in different ways, you know, which is good. So it's been brilliant.
Seeing the other people and hearing how, you know, about their lives has given me a nice warm fuzzy feeling.
All right, everyone, lovely to see you all again.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye to you all.